snack foods have changed quite a bit over the years, from super salty combos to sour WarHeads and sugary sweet fruit by the foot. If you've ever wondered what the most popular snack the year you were born was, you're in luck. We've rounded up one uber-likable snack from every year from 1970 to 1999. Get ready for a blast from your food past. Popcorn has always been one of America's favorites, but in 1970, it exploded, or popped, onto the scene when Orville Redenbacher's was introduced. The famous red box of popcorn is still a salty snack favorite around the country. What college kid hasn't had a stock of cup o' noodles in their dorm room? We know that we did when we were in college. This popular snack is now a classic meal that never gets old. The hippie days of the 70s helped establish more health-conscious food options, like granola. If you were a flower child, you likely remember eating Quaker Oats granola as snacks in the middle of the day. Betty Crocker debuted Toastwiches in 1973, and they became an instant hit. The pre-made sandwiches came in a variety of options like grilled cheese or pizza burger. Doritos had been around before 1974, but that year, Doritos introduced the nacho cheese flavor that would soon become the original flavor of Doritos for decades. The filled pretzel snacks took over the snack aisle in 1975. Many people know about the famous pizza combos, but other fun flavors include cheddar cheese and 7-layer dip. Pop Rocks candy is still very popular with kids of all ages because of the unique experience the candy provides. Today, the popping rock candy is also used in drinks and in baked goods. The Twix candy bar was introduced and gained instant fans in 1977. Now, the question remains, are you a fan of left Twix or right Twix? Reese's Pieces were launched in 1978, and while they were popular then, they became a household must-have after the debut of the movie. Wearable candy was all the rage leading into the late 70s and early 80s. The most popular were ring pops, which looked like giant engagement rings. After you tried to eat these for a while, though, the plastic ring portion always got super sticky. The corn tortilla chip that many people still reach for on grocery store shelves today is Tostitos. The chip was super popular in 1980, as people served it with salsa or 7-layer dip. When dessert and snack time mix into one moment, you get Jell-O pudding pops. These sweet treats were a fudgy, chocolatey delight on a hot day after playing outside. Bagel bites were a favorite snack time item in the early 80s. The tiny pizzas were easy to share and always came out of the oven bubbling with melted cheese. The savory version of a breakfast toaster pastry, Hot Pockets instantly shot to the top of grocery lists as an easy snack, thanks to the rise in people having microwave ovens at home. Gummy sour candy like Sour Patch Kids became the must-get from the candy section of any store. The candy packs a super sour punch at the beginning, then mellows out to be extra sweet. An 80s kid's lunchbox wasn't perfectly filled unless it had a handy snack. The cracker and spreadable cheese combo were always identifiable by the red plastic stick that was included in the packaging. Dippin' Dots were coined to be the ice cream of the future as tiny spheres of flavored ice cream was scooped up into a cup for devouring. Now Dippin' Dots can be found at theme parks and state fairs around the country. In 1988, you were considered the cool kid at school if you brought a Lunchable for your lunch. The snack-sized lunch was filled with crackers, meat, cheese, and a miniature candy bar. Bubble tape was a sweet pink bubble gum that was wrapped in a coil and placed in what looked like a tape dispenser. The flavor of the gum never lasted long, so you would always end up eating the whole thing in one day. The after-school snack that always made a mess was Gushers. The gummies were filled with sweet goo that inevitably got all over your hands and your shirt as you try to wipe it away. M&Ms are a classic candy, and crispy M&Ms were a variation of that. The centers had a sort of puffed rice that was covered in chocolate before getting the outside colored coating. WarHeads were the more sour cousin of Sour Patch Kids. The hard candy would cause your face to scrunch up with how sour it was, and you would always be dared to try to see how many you could handle at once. Every 90s kid remembers the fruit by the foot snacks that came in flavors like strawberry and watermelon. The best parts of these were always the ends that were doubled over because the paper was never quite long enough for the entire strip of fruit leather. For years, people had made homemade Rice Krispie treats, but in 1995 Kellogg started to make and package the cereal marshmallow treat. The snack became a huge success, and kids would always try to sneak them into the cart at the grocery store. Baked Lays were the undersalted cousin of Pringles, but they were popular. In the mid-90s, the chips are still sold and come in flavors like barbecue and original. Sugary cereal that was meant for breakfast often became an afternoon snack for kids. French Toast Crunch looked like tiny pieces of bread that were dusted in cinnamon sugar. Candy in the 90s was weird. The Baby Bottle Pop looked like a miniature baby bottle with a candy top that could be dunked in a sour powder inside the actual bottle. Go-Gurt made yogurt more accessible to kids by putting it in tubes to be eaten on the go. Some people even place their tubes in the freezer to make a yummy frozen yogurt bar.